The hardest decision my wife and I ever had to make was leaving Chattanooga. I say that. I'm glad April's here. She's going to do wonderful for y'all. She's a rock star. We left for family reasons. We love the city. I've got my wife in tears when we pull out, so know that. Chattanooga is extraordinary because it's comfortable enough to say bigger isn't better, better is better. And I think that's a community that's asking the right questions. So I think that's a real powerful point. I don't know how to answer your question other than maybe to do this, is when we look at the cities across the globe that have been on the receiving end of the Anthony Bourdain over-tourism moment, that's a real thing. If you've been to Barcelona, Madrid, you name the city, what we observe is that the ones that feel sustainable are the ones that really doubled in on who and what they were. And my 2 cents, for what it's worth, is that events actually aren't the point. They're fine. I'm more interested in building a place that's great for locals to live because the lessons from Rotterdam, The Hague, name your city, is visitors then come to see that unique local thing. And if you find out what that unique local thing is, everything else will tend to take care of itself. So you don't have to worry about keeping up with someone. Yeah, events are great that we used them in Boise too to brand ourselves, but at some point, you've got enough of your own momentum that I think you can trust yourself and have confidence and shoulder up and say, we're good. That maybe was a political answer, but I really feel that. I think that's why Williamsburg is still successful, 80 years after Rockefeller got done, is it's just a place. And that place, and there's no place like Chattanooga. There is no place. Huntsville's never going to touch y'all. Greenville is a freaking flash in the pan, plastic crap South Carolina joint compared to what you're, sorry, it is. I mean, it is. I mean, this is the real deal. Y'all are real people. It's just legit. I love that about this because you're not trying so hard and you're asking the hard questions and you're digging in. So I think keep doing that would be my advice. And your best, most competitive advantage is your outdoors and conservation. It is God gave this place the most remarkable mornings ever. I think some of y'all have heard the story, and I'll tell you the story, sorry. And if I'm wasting your time, everyone can leave. So I was in Australia making the National Park City pitch for us, for Chattanooga, okay? So I'm on the stage, and it's one of those big purple lit conference rooms, and it's a global conference. So Brian went to one similar in Europe. Anyhow, so I'm doing the whole deal. 90% of the questions, and it's me, I'm trying to think, Brian, who else was there? You weren't there, but you remember. It was like Rotterdam, I think London was there. 90% of the questions are coming to me because the globe is transfixed with the American South. Like they're terrified of us. Like they're entranced and terrified. So if any Australians ever come here, please, someone has to dress up like Dolly Parton because I told them she was here all the time. Don't make me a liar. But at the end of my talk, an Aboriginal elder got up in the back of the room. I haven't told this story in a while, so I'm trying to remember. Aboriginal elder gets up in the back of the room. And this was right after they did a ballot initiative in Australia to give proportional representation to Aboriginal nations. And that ballot measure failed. Like everyone thought it was a slam dunk, and it failed overwhelmingly. So the Aboriginal nations, people have been there 40,000, 50,000 years. We're feeling really bad. And the Aboriginal elder gets up and he says to me, he goes, sir, and he was way back, but it felt like he was right here. He goes, sir, you're in Chattanooga, right? I said, yes, sir. He goes, well, we're reading the work of Dr. King, and we were just reading the speech from the Lincoln Memorial. And when he said, look out mountain, and he pointed at me, and I will never forget this finger. It had seen some things. And it felt like it's here. He goes, is that you? I'm 5,000 miles from home saying y'all to people that don't know what it means. Is that you? And I said, well, yes, sir. I see Lookout Mountain every day on my commute in. And this was great. He said, well, your city has to keep charging forward because you're giving us hope. And he sat down. Never got to say a word to him. Have no idea who he was. But he got it. And I think that's the room for Chattanooga. Restaurants come and go. Events come and go. Who Chattanooga is? No, man, you can't blow that. That's the stuff. So I would just tell you all, trust yourself and believe in your own value because it's remarkable here.
Thank you, Scott. I think we should probably end on that note. We'll adjourn to the lobby if anyone had any last questions.
Thank you all.
Yes, thank you.